baskets I've seen. What are they? What's your name first off?
My name is Tommy Keith.
Nice to meet you, Tommy. What is this? What is this made of?
Let me show you if I may.
Okay.
I have two different size baskets. This large size and a medium size.
Okay.
Now this large size, I use 5 different types of wood. This is red cedar. This is mahogany, poplar, cherry, and walnut.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll follow a color sequence when I make the basket, and it develops a pattern to it, if you can see that. I use the same wood for the base. That's what all goes together, but I love the variegation in the wood and the knots, the grain. It gives it all its own character, its own personality.
It's beautiful.
There's no nails, no brads. I finish them off with a coat of furniture lacquer, the same type of finish that's on your furniture. And they'll keep forever. Isn't that beautiful?
It is, really is. Yeah, let's say it's unique. Just okay. Now, what does something like that go for right there?
This size here is 55. This medium size is only 45. Now I have some that's a little bit more pricey. This is mahogany. It's going to be a little bit more.
Okay.
This is 65.
It seems very well worth it for all the time.
It is. I'm retired.
Right.
And it's a hobby. I enjoy doing it. I have one here that's solid walnut in a large size. It's very regal looking and
that is nice.
rich looking. Now this is 85.
That's 85.
85, but walnut, is more expensive than regular wood.
Right.
So it's priced accordingly, but not overpriced either.
No, I don't think so at all. No, I would have guessed a lot higher. Do you travel? Do you go to all the different shows, or?
We go to a lot of different shows. I have these in a lot of gift shops in North Georgia. Yeah.
It's a serious business for you. I mean, you're. This is what you do.
No, I'm retired.
Oh, okay.
I'm retired. People say, Tommy,
This is his hobby.
It's my hobby. Yeah, I enjoy working with wood.
Right.
Keeps me busy.
So when do you do this? Do you have a shop, or you do it in front of while you're watching TV, or how does it?
Well, I'm on my back porch.
On your back porch.
On my back porch.
You're making baskets. Beautiful baskets. This is. Well, how do people reach you?
I have a card where people can reach me.
What's a phone number or something?
Phone number is 706-897-8898.
Nice to meet you.
Or you can go on Facebook.
Okay.
I have a group page. It's called Appalachian Eco Baskets. And they can go on there and contact me that way also.
Let me image your sign here. Appalachian Eco Baskets. Thank you very much.
Thanks for stopping.
West End Pharmacy is your neighborhood drugstore, delivering personalized, superb service to the community with unparalleled convenience and genuine hometown heart. Stop by. You'll find plenty of reasons to keep coming back, like prescriptions filled quickly and accurately, vitamins and supplements, as well as friendly, honest people. We can also provide diabetic supplies, blister packaging, medication therapy management, immunizations, and so much more. For an overview of our products and services, please visit our website at pharmacywestend.com.
Quilt show. How are y'all?
We're doing great today.
Now you're Joan and you're Peggy.
Right. That's correct.
Nice to meet you. Now, can you show me around in here a little bit? This is the, hold on, let me just look at your quilts, but let me see here. Now you say these right here are newer quilts that I'm looking for?
Quilts.
Like newer, like made this year or last couple of years?
Well, to a quilter, sometimes you started them several years ago and then they're finished, recently. But
so a quilt might take a couple of years to make?
Sometimes more than that, but some quilters are faster quilters than that.
Well, if you're fast, how long does it take you to make
one?
one?
Oh my goodness, maybe a year.
A year?
Yes. And what people don't realize is today's quilter usually, they are we do use them for warmth. In the old days, the older ones, if you look at those.
Walk me over there, let's look at them, yeah.
All right.
These are the older ones. Now you say older, what's the age?
Okay. Where was the 1800s? Okay, we've got one some that was from the 1800s, I think.
You've got some from the 1800s?
This one here is over 100 years old.
I'll give you $20 right now.
These aren't for sale. We're just displaying these. These belong to other people.
Now, you're not, I can't touch these. You can't touch these.
Not without a plastic glove.
Why is that?
Well, you're of course, a lot of people have been eating here at this big
Right. Oh,
carnival,
absolutely.
But
You have acid.
and
Okay.
oils
In
in
your
your
body.
hand.
This is
And it would-
1800s. How did y'all come by it?
Well, one of our club members brought it to be displayed. It was a family heirloom.
Oh, so this belongs to a family.
Oh,
They're
yes,
going to take
yes,
this home with them.
All of these belong to other people, and they just in the festival asked our club, the Corge Crossroads Homemakers Club, to have a quilt show. So the people in the community and our members just brought their treasures and wanted to share with us and with the people that have come to see them. And
These are beautiful.
They're very.
if you could focus on that one there.
Okay, this
That
one right
one's
here?
with the tiny pieces, it's hand pieced and
Okay.
hand quilted. Now a work like that probably took a long, long time, and I'm not sure what the date on that one
You
is.
mean like years?
Yes, yes. And you gotta remember, in those days they probably didn't have electricity. They were
Right.
probably sewing and quilting by candlelight or
Right.
with an oil lamp.
1920.
1920.
1920.
So a quilt is a work of art. Some of them, you notice that the design's not what they made it for. They made it to keep warm. But as time went by, people took an interest in making them colorful, and a lot of them were made from feed sacks, flour sacks.
Now, is this just by whatever you come by? I mean, just
Well, this one was what's called a string quilt. The
Okay.
women didn't waste anything. If they had just a tiny piece of fabric, they saved it and incorporated
that's what this
it.
is.
Right,
Just-
right. And sometimes just randomly, and then they came back and did the ornate hand embroidery stitches, which nowadays, see, this one was from 1939.
yeah, this is not by a machine. You
no,
can tell
no,
because
no,
they're not
that's
at all.
hand done.
You can tell by looking at. Yes,
And this one was complete. This is 1939. All these stitches are hand done.
that's why it takes years.
And you go from that to the more modern
Well,
ones.
just like back here, my name is Peggy Dempsey,
Hey, Peggy.
and this quilt here is my husband's grandfather. He was a minister at this church. And so the ladies of the church, and this was like 100 years ago, the ladies in the church all made squares for a quilt, and they all put their names on this. If you come around here, you can
Right here.
And they did this in 1941. That was during wartime.
Whiz. Is it ever too late to learn how to quilt?
No, we hope to be able to, at our club, we're going to try to have some classes coming up this summer to teach young people and young women or young men if they want to learn how to do this again, because it's an art form.
Yes, it is.
This is an art. I mean, you just look around and look at the beauty. How many squares is in that one, Joan?
The one in the center.
The one in the center is what, 187
180 squares.
to
The one
make
in the
that.
center. And the ones displayed up here are not as old as these, and some were made by machine, pieced by machine, and then quilted by machine. But the majority of those up there, I think, were hand quilted.
All right, what's the name of your club?
McCord's Crossroads Homemakers Club.
I wanna-
We're right across the Alabama-Georgia line in Forney, Alabama, really. And we have, that organization's been going on for, what now, 30-something years, isn't it?
75 this
Seven-
year. 75 years this year. I believe.
Beautiful.
Is it?
I think.
Anyway, and,
No, it's not that long. No, 25.
25.
I knew it ended in a 5.
It's
25.
30 years. Been back.
Then
Yeah.
anyway, we've got to look that up. It's a celebration this year. We just hadn't started on it.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you doing this.
SOS Mattress. Best quality, best price, guaranteed. Where can you find a huge selection of high-end mattresses without paying high-end prices? SOS Mattress. Best quality, best price, guaranteed. Where can you save 50 to 80% off retail every day? SOS Mattress. Best quality, best price, guaranteed. We offer the lowest prices on the best name brand mattresses. SOS Mattress and Clearance Center on Highway 41 in Cartersville, 1 block south of Home Depot.
Everybody look who it is. It's Brandon Bryson. Good to see you, Brandon.
Good to see you, David.
All right, you are the Chief Magistrate Judge here in Bartow County. You've been doing this for what, going on 6 months?
6 months now.
How's it going?
I love it. I wake up every morning looking forward to my job. I work with great people. I get to work with great people in the community. And I actually say I love my job.
How dependent are you on your employees? I mean, how long have they been here?
Oh my goodness. They range, but most of my employees have been here for quite some time. My chief clerk has been here the longest, Monica. She's been here 26 years. Other clerks have ranged from around 10 years to 6 years. 2 of my full-time judges have been here over 4 years. I depend a lot on them, especially moving from the transition from practicing lawyer into the judge's role and then having to be head of this department over the administrative role as well. Coming in with an experienced staff has made the world of difference.
Have you got it down yet?
I don't want to say that because you say you got it down, it's going to come crashing down. Knock on wood, things are running well. And you mentioned the staff, due to them being so experienced and helping with the learning curve and helping with the day-to-day operations, I've been able to focus on some of my goals for the office. And I was able to achieve some of those sooner rather than later, which I'm very pleased, and I couldn't have done it without them.
How have you improved? What's going on in the magistrate court?
Well, I gotta say, one, I got it from good hands.
Right.
And that also made a big difference. I didn't have any messes to clean up. I just got to build upon what Judge Mosley and his administration has done for the past several years. One of the things I wanted to focus on, though, is making us a little more accessible. And we are one of the more accessible courts, as we should be, since we are considered the people's court. But we are open from 7 a.m. to 5:30, and I can't take credit for that. Judge Mosley made those the hours years ago during his first term, I believe. We maintained those hours so people could come in before they go to work or after they get off work and not have to take time from their jobs and lose their hard-earned pay just to make several trips back to the court. But I wanted to build upon that, and we actually have an operating website now. We have online filing that we like to make people aware of now, where you can file your case from the comforts of your own home without having to make 2 or 3 trips to our office. We have a lot of our forms available online. We have instructional videos online, how to present your case. It talks about the jurisdiction of our court. What does the magistrate court do? We have videos on what type of evidence we can hear and how to present your evidence. Anything to make the person's experience here a little easier, because the law could be very daunting to somebody who's never studied it.
So this is okay here to be your own lawyer?
Yes, it is. You could show up with or without a lawyer here. And
you don't look down on them. You don't look down, okay, you're just crazy for not having an attorney. It's just...
No, because that's pretty much the tradition of this court. It came out of a small claims justice of the peace court is what it began as, And in 1983, when the new Georgia Constitution was ratified, they created this magistrate court. Because a lot of times it's small claims, what's considered small claims, but really, to the everyday person, it is not a small claim. It is civil claims up to $15,000. And a whole other host of cases we hear, including landlord-tenant cases, evictions, abandoned car liens, local ordinance court, domestic violence court. We sign the warrants. So we try to be accommodating to the public because traditionally that's what the role of this court was. Over the years, of course, the role has expanded. And I always advise people, if you need legal advice, do consult an attorney because it's very important. You don't want to lose a case just because you're unaware. I try to eliminate some of that as much as possible. I try to tell people, okay, when you come to court, be sure to bring all your evidence. Be sure to bring your witnesses. I don't want somebody to lose just because they came and didn't think to bring the proper items they need to prove their case. And I try to explain to the people before the case starts how it's going to happen and try to put them at ease. And I just try to let them understand what's going on and make them feel comfortable. Because when you're dealing with when your housing's on the line or your personal freedom or your paycheck is on the line or you're a small business, it's a nerve-wracking thing. And you're dealing with people that have this on the line. So we try to be compassionate here and understanding while maintaining, the law.
Everybody, it's Brandon Bryson. Congratulations, also. You've had a great year.
It's been
Bought a new home.
Yes, sir.
Baby on the way.
Baby on the way.
When's
July 4th.
That is very exciting. Your first child.
Yes, sir. Baby Caroline will be here in a few weeks.
Baby Caroline. That is. You gonna take you gonna take a week off or anything, or?
Yes, I'll probably take some time. I'm sure mother will need her rest and need some help with a new baby. And luckily, grandmother and grandfather are anxious to spoil this baby rotten.
I bet.
Yes, sir.
Everybody, it's our Chief Magistrate Judge, Brandon Bryson. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, David.
Hey, this is Joe Wilson, co-owner of Parnick Jennings Funeral Home, Cartersville's locally owned funeral home, serving all of Bartow County since 1977. The biggest difference of our funeral home here in Bartow County, Cartersville, is that we are a locally owned funeral home. We make all our decisions right here in the funeral home. When people walk in the door, they're going to meet the owner and know that we're making decisions on what's best for the families that have placed their trust and confidence in us and the needs of our community. One thing we always say to families that place their trust in us is ask a family we have served. We want people to know that when they come here for probably one of the most difficult experiences in their life, that they can feel comfortable with us.
All our family actually comes to Parnick Jennings. Once we lose a loved one, we call on them because, they really took care of us in the past. As far as controlling the funeral, the arrangements for the trafficking to the gravesite, everything went perfect and, in order like it needed to be. And, especially with a loved one that you lost, you want things to go like it's supposed to, and they've really done a professional job of doing it.
Pre-arranging a funeral, it could be probably one of the most important things that you could do for your loved one. You have time to make those decisions in a calm, relaxed atmosphere, and you can lock in the price. In today's economy, price is something that we have to think about. And by making a pre-arrangement in advance and funding it, you're guaranteeing that those prices will be there and you'll be protected from any future inflation. On behalf of myself and all the staff here at Parnick Jennings Funeral Home, we want you to know it would be our honor to serve your family during your time of need. Please call us at 770-382-0034.
We're at the Tellus Science Museum. This is Canty Smith. Hey, Canty.
How's it going?
It's going good. What are we looking at here?
We're very proud of this. This is the Cartersville meteorite, which actually fell fairly nearby in 2009, March 1st, 2009.
Okay.
And one of the reasons I wanted to share this with you today is I actually had an opportunity to kind of crawl up and around in the attic, and you see the board that it penetrated. But it's quite an interesting story as the individual went into their home and saw this rock on the floor. And fortunately, the building was vacant at the time, and the individual was just, these kids throwing rocks, and then realized, looked around, didn't see any glass anywhere. And about that time, the sun came out, and these beams of light came down with this angelic glow, and the connection started being made, the fact that, oh my gosh, this rock came through my roof. And so that's when they brought the rock to us here, and our curator had the thrill of a lifetime, because there are only, in Georgia, this is only the 25th meteorite that's actually been documented that's fallen here in Georgia. And that when documentation includes either a witnessed fall, someone's heard the sonic boom that meteorites make as they come through the atmosphere, or and then obviously someone has collected the meteorite within the...
That would make a sonic boom.
It would. As it enters into the atmosphere,
right,
it makes a sonic boom. Not unlike what we hear when we hear jets do that. Not as loud, but still significant. So yeah, they do. They make sonic booms as well.
If you were to find something like, I mean, just immediately, can you pick something like that up? Or?
Oh, you can. Yeah, that's one of those myths that you hear about. Oh my gosh, it was hot to the touch, or it was glowing. That's really a myth. If anything, that sensation of that hot, cold kind of thing, because you think about it, if it's fallen immediately, it's actually, might have a little bit of warmth to it, but the fact is it's been out in space, so if anything, it's going to be colder than what you might think. Especially if it has just fallen. But the odds of that are just, infinitesimal about you being actually find something immediately.
Any idea on the age of?
It has actually, that is a very interesting question, and yes, someone has that information. I unfortunately do not. You'll notice it has that slice right there on the front, and it's actually been sent off through the Smithsonian, and they have sliced this rock and they've identified it. But we have just relatively recently gotten that information back, and I haven't had a chance to read everything yet. Okay. So I'm still waiting to kind of see the type of, because there are different types of meteors. There's iron and stony and different types, different kind of chondrules. That's the material that's on the inside of the meteorite. And you can see this is a beautiful example because it has that fusion crust on the outside, and then, which is something that is different from meteorite to meteorite. And then also you see that little bit of sheetrock, a little bit of gypsum on that side, and then that lighter buff color is actually the wood fibers from where it crashed through that beam of the house. And this is a particularly interesting meteorite in that it has a nickname of being known as a hammer. And a hammer is something that we know has struck something or someone. And so there are several meteorites throughout history that are very famous because they've not only have they been found, but they've been known to strike something. Very proud. This is our very own Campo meteorite, and it's very large. It weighs 112 pounds, so you would get a serious workout lifting this. But this is one of our touch pieces here in the Wyman Mineral Gallery of the Tellus Science Museum. It is an iron meteorite, and so you can see very quickly here there is a lot of magnetic abilities to this. So, gosh, that's even hard to pull off. So it is made of iron, and it is a very significant meteorite in that it's very typical. It has these kind of glyphs in it, which is what those indentations are, and the shape of it. Once you've seen a Campo Ticello meteorite, it's very identifiable because they all look a lot like this. But there are a lot of interesting insights into science through our meteorites.
I guess they're all over the place. They just haven't been found.
That's so true. And here in Georgia, the reason they're so hard to find is that our vegetation covers everything so quickly.
Right.
And if it's something like this, in our humidity, it's going to rust. So it's going to rust. Just going to rust right away. And I mean, you see them out. We probably do, and they just look like a piece of gravel. So it's kind of hard to identify them in that capacity.
And that's real.
That's the real deal. So you can come to Tellus and touch a meteorite.
What am I listening to in the background?
Oh, yeah, that's one of our visitors, one of our younger visitors that's making an earthquake over there on our seismic reader. So
There's a lot of stuff to do here for kids.
wonderful things for this, especially with summer coming up. We know we've got a lot of free time, and we want to do things that are positive and engaging for all of our learners. And there are a lot of hands-on activities here at Tellus.
All right, what are we looking at right now?
Well, this again is, we're looking at meteorites and tektites. And meteorites, of course, one of the things that we've discussed already with our Cartersville meteorite is a piece of the solar system, if you will,
Okay.
that literally has fallen through Earth's atmosphere and has fallen to Earth. Another aspect of this is something called a tektite. Tektites are not meteorites, but they are objects that have been thrust up into the air by that impact of the meteorite. So there are people who do nothing but collect tektites, just that the material that once the impact of the meteorite strikes something, then depending on where you are, whether it's sand in the Sahara or ice and sand in the Antarctic, the impact material is what a tektite is. And you can see all the different kind of colors. We have Libyan desert glass, literally from the Libyan desert in Egypt. And this was actually one of the earliest materials in gemstones, and actually been found on King Tut's tomb, on his sarcophagus. They have actually found Libyan desert glass. People would carve it, they would manipulate it and make it look like, it was an early gemstone. Some of the other material you see here is moldavite, and that's most of that is usually found over in the USSR, and lovely green tint to this. And again, that's it struck the soil, and this material was ejected up with such force it melted, and it had enough silica in it that it turned to glass. And actually, we are very fortunate because Georgia is actually known. Georgites are actually found here in Georgia. The material looks very similar to this, and also has that very greenish cast. So there are a lot of interesting tektites that can be found locally as well as all over the world.
So you could walk right by this and not know what you're...
You could. You certainly could. As a matter of fact, I know we've got the meteorite in the background there. You have a very large Gibeon meteorite. But if you were able to go out, and if you're cleaning the gutters anytime, take a really strong magnet and run that magnet up and down in your gutter, and you're going to find some stardust. There will be some sort of meteorite particle there. And what you have found is a very small meteorite.
So cool.
Isn't it though?
Canty Smith, everybody out here at the Tellus Science Museum.